that name right because it's written right there in front of me, joins us now from Henderson to talk about our game of the week. And Kyle, I'll tell you, this game when it was 20 to, was it 62? 62, I thought, wow, this could be a very battling type of game. But Kilgore, they moved away from it. They broke away. And I think one of the reasons why you didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Fuller, he was being a mad scientist working up a game plan for tonight. When we do our usual game of the week interviews, he put together one heck of a game plan, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he really did, Coleman, and the score, was 27-12, but it was really dominated by Kilgore throughout the night. Like you said, started off, Kilgore hit a 69-yard rushing touchdown by Rayshawn Williams to get things kind of started for the Bulldogs. Third play on their drive, first drive of the game, scored 69-yard rushing touchdown, but then the extra point was blocked and returned all the way back to the end zone for Henderson to get those 2 points. So, and then after that, it was just a bunch of punts, more punts, and a lot of defensive battles there. But then Kilgore did answer with Kason Brooks finding Lakeeleon Graves in the back of the end zone for an 18-yard touchdown. Lakeeleon Graves going to Texas State next year. He's a phenomenal athlete. And then later in the quarter, Kason Brooks from 2 yards out scored a rushing touchdown to make it 20-2, a very weird score. And then Henderson goes down right before halftime, kicks a 38-yard field goal to make it 20-5 at half. Then coming out of halftime, Coleman, it was 27-5 at one point. Kilgore scored, but then it was really Henderson that really tried to make this comeback. They got a pick six, about a 20-yard pick six later in the third quarter, I believe, to make the game 27-12. And then they had a long touchdown pass that was called back with about 8 minutes to go in the game. They said the receiver stepped out. I don't know, Coleman. They showed the replay on the screen. I think I saw some green in between his shoe and the white, but nevertheless, they called him out of bounds, so it was no touchdown. That touchdown could have made it an 8-point game with 8 minutes left in the game. So Henderson battled to the very end, but it was Kilgore. Kilgore dominated and came out and won the game. Didn't let Henderson score an offensive point throughout the entire game. So great job by the Kilgore defense, and then the offense did just enough, kept the momentum, kept the ball rolling, and scored when they needed to get the win. But very impressive performance by the Kilgore Bulldogs, but Henderson looked really good tonight in spurts as well.
Your coach Meeks over there at Henderson for the way they performed tonight. He's been there, he's done that. His father was there years ago, and he knows about this rivalry. He knows about the intensity of this game. And I think it's good that somebody like him, who's been through these battles as a player and as a coach, can be in the seat he's in now, because he's in position to tell this new generation, this is how it's going to be while I'm here, while we're playing against Kilgore. So we have to be on our A game all the time, don't you think?
No, I 100% agree, and you can see, there was a lot of this rivalry. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I did not know how intense this rivalry was until this week and until I got here tonight to the game. Coleman, we get here 2 hours before kickoff. There were people waiting outside to get in the gates, filled up immediately as they got in here. The atmosphere was intense all night. These two teams do not like each other, Coleman, not at all. I don't think they're going to exchange Christmas cards at Christmas time, but they kept it within the whistles for the most part, and I think Coach Meeks, his first year here, he's getting his culture instilled. We talked to him about that this week. I think they're trending in the right direction. They really are. It's just you go up against a Kilgore team that won. You beat them last year, so they're already mad about that. They made it to the state game last year and got shut out. They're mad about that. This is it feels like a revenge tour for Kilgore this season. So it's unfortunate, but Henderson still has a lot of positives, and I think they're still going to be battling for a playoff spot in this really tough district. And Coleman, with as tough as this district is, a 4 seed, like if Henderson gets the 4 seed, they could still make a run in the playoffs because of how strong this district is. So I think everything's still right in front of Henderson here, but they kind of took one on the chin tonight to Kilgore.
Well, we're wrapping up 2 weeks of district play, and we're seeing some great play. 2 weeks ago, I asked Coach Fuller, is there such a thing as your team being in midseason form? He said, oh no, we're not even there yet. And yet, like you said, the score is not indicative of the domination they had tonight over Henderson, but I think that goes to show you that Coach Fuller, he's for real. He wants to get back to Jerry's world, if you will, and he's really focused. And I mean, I was at practice one time, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was letting his players have it, dude. I mean, he was all in them. I said, well, I'd never seen him do it. I don't know, he's probably done it, but I've never seen him do it before. And I shut my camera off because I didn't want to be told shut the camera down. You know, I went ahead and got ahead of them. You know, it made me want to run laps after he was screaming at them. But he's an intense guy. Well, but you can't tell that by just talking to him. But he's full of intensity.
Yeah, no, when you talk to him after the game or even before the game, he's very even keel, very mellow, but once those lights come on and once that whistle blows and the game starts, he's a completely different person. And I think that bleeds over into his kids as well. I think they kind of pick up on that, and I think they use that same intensity out on the field. But you're absolutely right, and I think it goes back, you're right, Coleman, we weren't able to talk to him this week. I think it's because he was laser focused on getting this win over Henderson. I'm telling you, they were upset going into this game about Henderson beating them at home last year. So I think Coach Fuller just said, I ain't talking to nobody this week. We are laser focused on this game, and they came out here and did what they needed to do. But he talked to us after the game, so yeah. I think we're all good there.
Well, and the thing coaches always tell you, the film don't lie. And so that film that he probably brought out from last year, it was just as ugly today as it was a year ago, and there was no lies. Now, we're going to go to road.